Hello and welcome to the first of a two-part video tutorial on the TapStats application. In this video, we'll discuss the different components of the Administrator Control Panel. In the next tutorial, we'll talk about the dashboard display. Although TapStats provides a unique, comprehensive level of statistical analysis, along with engaging visual displays, it's really very simple to use. It only takes a few minutes to become an expert, so let's get started. After you sign into your TapStats account, you'll have access to the Administrator Control Panel. At the top of the page, you'll see three navigation options: Account, Profile, and Dashboard. We'll begin our discussion with the Account page. You'll be directed to this page each time you sign in. This section shows all of the information you entered during registration, as well as information about the status of your account. Note the Edit buttons next to each of the sections. As an administrator, you'll be able to update this information at any time. There are two key features on this page that I'd like to highlight for this discussion. The first one is the Purchased Water Sources section. If your water system buys water from other water systems, then during registration, you'll see a list of all your purchased sources based on the records we receive from the state. By default, the dashboard will show your sampling results as well as the sampling results from your purchased water sources. However, you do have the option to change that setting at any time. For example, if we show a purchased source in the list that you no longer buy from, or you just don't want your customers to see their test results, you can simply click Edit next to the Purchase Sources section, and the screen opens showing your water system on the left and any of the purchased water systems on the right-hand side. You simply locate the purchased source you wish to hide, click on the toggle switch from on to off, click Save, and you're done. Your customers won't see those test results. They'll only see those results you wish them to see. Note that you'll be able to add other purchase sources at any time by clicking on this Edit link next to the Purchase Water Sources section, and you'll be able to add additional water sources if the situation changes in the future. And as a side note, you'll be able to also change your water system if you wanted to hide that as well. The other part of the account page that I wanted to bring to your attention is at the very top you see the Customer Dashboard link. This is the link that you send to your website's webmaster or your IT staff person. He or she simply pastes the link directly to your website. It's no more complicated than how you have your annual water quality reports posted onto your website. You can simply highlight the link and hit Control-C on your keyboard to copy it, or you can simply right-click onto the link and select Copy from the drop-down menu. When your customers come to your site, they'll simply click on this link to bring them to your dashboard display. They obviously won't come into the Administrator Control Panel, since that can only be accessed from the sign-on screen with a username and password. You could even use the TapStats logo on your website. You simply send the logo and the link to your IT staff person, and they'll be able to place the logo right on your website so your customers can come and instead of clicking on a link, they can click right onto the TapStats logo. Now let's look at the Profile section. This is the workhorse behind TapStats application. Here you'll be able to add, edit, and delete any of the substances presented in the table. Let's take a closer look. When you first come onto the Profile page, you'll notice that there are two green bars which show regulated contaminants and unregulated contaminants. And if you click onto one of them, you'll see that in this sample account, these are the classes of the contaminants that we have data that we have been able to gather and run our calculations on. To see the individual contaminants within each class, you can again simply click on that class. And displayed will be all of the data that we've been able to gather since 2008, and we've broken it down by year and of course by the individual contaminant. We'll come back to the profile page in the second tutorial when I provide some examples on making changes to this section and how it impacts the dashboard display. But for now, I just wanted to make mention that this is the area where you access your data. And as you can see, very simply, we've broken it down by the contaminant name, the year. We have a system average, which would be your average, and the state average. Also, we break it down by unit and whatever the MCL, SMCL, MRDL, or AL is from your state. We also show the typical source and the information section. The typical source is very familiar to anybody who has been creating their water quality reports. The information link is a link where you send your customers to if they have any questions. I'll show where that is found when we discuss the dashboard in the next video. To the left of each of the contaminants in the table, you'll notice the trash can and pencil icons. If you want to delete any of the table entries, you simply click on the trash can. If you want to edit some of the information in the table for that specific contaminant, you'll click on the pencil. You'll be able to make changes like changing the system average, changing the typical source, or providing a different URL link in the information column where you think one of your customers should be sent instead of the URL link that we provide. For example, your state may have a better resource that you would prefer your customers go to than the standard EPA page. As I said, we'll revisit this page on the next video. This concludes the first tutorial, and now we'll discuss the different aspects of the dashboard and go into more detail describing the different components that make up the dashboard display.